We've got a wild card for you today. This is one of the most overlooked, underrated places to possibly live in all Florida, especially if you like the Gulf Coast. And we're gonna react to area vibes, reviews of it, which we think...
So it's accurate in some instances, but in others, it really lacks, I feel, information and just the accuracy of it as a whole. And
using it, I think, will help us pull out some more details and nuance to point out for you if you're considering buying or selling a home in the Sarasota, Venice area, or somewhere smack in between, which is what we're covering, Osprey. And Osprey is a unique proposition.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah. So they give it a livability score of 71. Disagree already, but I think it's gonna depend on the person and what you're okay with and what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think it might be accurate just for certain reasons, which I can already see we're going to cover right here. So it might be accurate as a whole, the 71 score, but it doesn't mean that we agree with that score.
And I think it's in all of this area of Florida, this like Venice, Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Welland Park, Northport area, I think it's one of the biggest opportunities that doesn't get talked about at all.
Yes.
So, continuing on. Amenities.
2 amenities.
F. They have no coffee, they have no entertainment, they have no food and drink. Groceries, probably the Walmart. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a public, so here's the thing. We did South Sarasota and it was a very similar thing because South Sarasota is kind of a small area and they're rating everything like what's right there in that area. So if it's not next door, you can't use it according to area vibes.
If it's outside of the city limits that they have, then it doesn't count.
Yeah, which I think is, these ratings are good if maybe you're looking for something where you want to be able to walk to everything and not have to have a car, then for sure. But if you're, like most people in Florida and gonna have a car, you got a lot more at your fingertips. You can see just to the north in the Vamo area of Sarasota, there's a lot of stuff. Just to the south, you've got, Nokomis, and then just a little bit further, you got all of Venice's stuff. So all this, there's not a lot in Osprey itself.
Yes, it's more of a residential. There's a lot of HOA communities, a lot of homes not on HOA communities, townhomes, condos, things like that. So it's more residential, and that's why it's getting, I feel like, this F in amenities, because you don't live near a lot of things to do, but you're just down the road from a lot of things to do in Sarasota. Exactly,
and I think that's why, I'll zoom out here just to kind of show, like this Gulf Gate Estates area. Oh, I zoomed out too much. It's not on the map anymore. Right here, there's a lot of like restaurants, great restaurants and stuff like that. A little bit of shops, mostly restaurants, and actually really near that too, there's a lot of shopping too. There's like the Bed Bath & Beyond and all the other stuff there. And
then Casey Key too has a lot of different restaurants along the...
Which is here.
Yeah, right there. So... yeah, it's not technically in Osprey, but some of Casey Key is Osprey.
And the upside, I think, and the potential here is your ability to get north and south to both, all that stuff to do and be right in the middle of it. But this area is just getting developed now, a little bit more under the radar, I would say.
Yeah.
And with the North Venice area coming in, like I think there's just a lot of opportunity for appreciation, more stuff to do right in your neighborhood soon.
Well, and when most people think of Osprey, they just think of like the Palmer Ranch neighborhoods, which is technically Sarasota, Osprey area. So they think of all those big HOA communities along 41. They don't think of like going more inland per se, a little more, where there is a lot more homes that are not part of HOA communities.
Yeah, I just feel like locationally having access to all that, and then the opportunity, the upside is just amazing here.
Yes.
So Commute F, they're basing this as always on public transportation. If you haven't seen our previous video in the series, check out our channel. We're doing them for South Sarasota, Nokomis, Venice, Northport,
Englewood,
and more coming. So subscribe to check the newest videos. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised there. I don't think there's a lot to say.
I think all of Florida is probably going to be the same. Like they're using the same rating system.
Yeah, probably. I can't think of a lot of cities in Florida that I would say would deserve an A for public transportation anyway.
Orlando, I think a lot of people use the public transportation. Miami, maybe.
Yeah, and Orlando's really making a push for that. I'll say that, like with the Bright Line and all that kind of stuff and the Sunrail, they're trying to get to catch on. Cost of living, F. And actually, they're not including Casey Key in that.
I think that might be all the HOA communities are included on
and the newer construction communities. So it is, it is a little pricier probably compared to like
so if you're like
certain areas, I guess, like Northport.
this side of Osprey, like all of this is pretty much HOA communities, but if you go more inland over here, then there is more of a mixed bag, so it's more, some homes might be a little more affordable.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm not as surprised the more I think about it, but I just thought it would have been a little better than an F.
Yeah.
But again, we don't always agree with them either, and I don't always think their data is the most accurate. Yes. Tax rate, they're getting an A+, just like everywhere else in Florida, probably because there's no state income tax. At least that seems to be the case. A+ for crime, meaning there's lots of crime. If you want to do crime, this is the spot.
This is the best place to be.
No, but very low crime. 509 crimes per 100,000.
Not surprised on that either. There's a lot of gated communities in that area, and just the area as a whole, it's very safe. It's not
it's quiet.
It's rural in some, like the more inland you go, it's more rural, more quiet.
Yeah, I think it's where people go to live to get away from it all, and a lot of retirees too in the area. Mm-hmm. So employment, A+. Wow,
94,000.
I wonder if it's just attracting people because that's higher than South Sarasota. Was that like 74,000? Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, but Osprey, again, all those HOA communities, that master plan community, Palmer Ranch, those properties are going to be a lot more expensive than South Sarasota. So the people buying in Osprey in those areas, have to be able to afford that. So they are making more money. So that kind of makes sense, I guess. Yeah. Not to say that goes for like Osprey as a whole, just mainly the Palmer Ranch neighborhoods in Sarasota.
Yeah.
Or in Osprey.
Right. Health.
F. What?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because they're basing on what's in Osprey. But just up the road, you got Sarasota. Actually, really close now in the North Venice area. You've got the whole brand new Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Yeah. And there's another Sarasota Memorial up in actual Sarasota. They're building another one in the Welland Park, Northport area. So you might have to drive a little bit to get to it, which could be a downside, I guess.
And Sarasota has a lot of different medical facilities too, apart from the hospital. Yeah. There's a lot of different medical facilities, so it's not very difficult to go, drive up the road to Sarasota and Osprey are basically one and the same. Again, it's kind of like Venice and Nokomis.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that difficult to find a hospital at all.
Yeah, and I think it's only a matter of time until Osprey and the south end of Sarasota blend to basically you can't even tell you left one, and it's already starting to get there. And then I think it's only a matter of time until Osprey and everything in between the Nokomis, North Venice area, and that's actually happening.
It's already being developed. Yeah.
So housing, A, is interesting.
Yeah. Affordability is on F though.
Especially given the employment statistics, and then especially having the home affordability to be an F when the employment and the median income was so good.
Yeah. And then the median price is an A+.
Hard to wrap your head around some of their data and how they decided, but home price is definitely one of the higher ones that we've done so far.
It's 225% higher than the rest of Florida.
Yeah, South Sarasota, I want to say was less.
Yeah.
That was like 474, I want to say. So that's interesting. The gated communities here must be highly desirable. And then some of the new construction stuff, obviously. So by the way, we do have a real estate team, 941-221-1897. Call or text anytime. We don't get a lot of people, though, really inquiring about living in the Osprey area or the gated communities there and
I
things like that.
I don't think many people know about Osprey and the gated communities. They just think it's Sarasota. It's the same thing as Welland Park. In the Venice Northport area, most people just say it's Venice. Most people, there's a whole fight there over who owns Welland Park. It's the same thing with Osprey. All the Palmer Ranch communities, Sarasota claims them, but technically most of them are in Osprey.
Yeah, true. Yes, very true, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. And home appreciation, again, an A+. We'll say this every video, this whole area.
Yeah.
Anywhere within about a 50-mile radius of, I'd say Osprey is kind of in the middle of all that boom. Is seeing some pretty good appreciation. Affordability, we already talked. Let's get to the next one.
Schools, A+.
That's interesting.
High school, an A. Is that in Sarasota?
I wonder if that's the same South Sarasota one. Pineview.
Pineview, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's funny because we've done some of the other cities and then they'll give it a really high overall rating. By the way, this is in Sarasota County, which recently was moved up to the #1 county in the state for its school system. but it'll do pretty good on school test scores and then the high school graduation rate, and then they'll give the actual schools like an F, which just doesn't, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just basing it on the amount of them, but no, it's one and one.
Just one, yeah.
So one got an F, one got an A. Take it with a grain of salt. Like we said, we feel like Area Vibes is pretty like black and white and brutal things. Ratings overall is A+. Just 2 surveys.
Okay.
But
so the 2 people that lived there loved it.
Yeah. But that's good to know, because a lot of times when people do surveys or leave reviews, they're doing it to vent.
Yeah.
So
mainly they're, you know, upset about something, and that's when they write a review, or they're really happy, and but most likely than not, they're upset about something, and that's when people tend to write reviews.
So if they're really upset about Osprey and still giving it an A+, you're doing okay.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Osprey, Sarasota areas, make sure to call, text, or email our real estate team, 941-221-1897.
Call or text anytime, whether you're looking to move in the next few days or next few months. We hear from people all the time, and we love it.
If you want to learn more about what's like to live in Sarasota, check out this video right here.
And to learn more about living in this area, be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications to catch our newest videos where we tell you all about all the amazing areas to live and things to do. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. And live breezy.